Welcome to Boring News from Not Boring, where we bring you the news as Polymarket sees it. I'm your host, Packy McCormick's voice, and my job is to put my mouth where your money is. Today is January 6th, 2025, Matthew Livelsberger's suicide bombing outside Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas on January 1st, 2025, linked to conspiracy theories, has stirred media and public debate. On Polymarket, the authenticity of his manifesto sees odds around 85%, with trading volume around $14,000. The Belarusian presidential election on January 26th, with President Alexander Lukashenko seeking a seventh term, faces scrutiny over electoral fairness. Polymarket odds show around 97% expect Lukashenko to win, with trading volume over $1 million. Discussions on Donald Trump's potential return to the presidency and mass deportations project odds around 43% for 250,000 to 500,000 deportations, with a trading volume of around $21,000. Now, let's hit today's stories. First, a newly opened market by none other than the real Packy McCormick, involving Matthew Livelsberger, a former Green Beret, who carried out a suicide bombing using a Tesla Cybertruck outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas on January 1st, 2025. His actions appear linked to conspiracy theories and emotional distress. Before the incident, Livelsberger sent a manifesto to podcaster Sean Ryan, detailing his grievances against the U.S. government, alleging war crimes, and raising fears over advanced drone technologies connected to China. The bombing has sparked intense media coverage and discussions. Livelsberger, driven by distress and conspiracy beliefs, viewed his act not as terrorism, but as a wake-up call. His manifesto cites weak leadership and emotional burdens from military service, with claims about the use of dangerous drones. Public discourse on X and in news outlets is ablaze. Some suggest the manifesto might be a psychological operation, while others question Livelsberger's mental state and motivations, particularly his drone claims. Sean Ryan's subsequent move into hiding has added fuel to the fire. On Polymarket, the authenticity of Livelsberger's manifesto is a focal point. There, trading volume is around $14,000, reflecting a belief that the manifesto is real, with odds at around 85%. The FBI is now probing its authenticity, with broader implications on national security, veterans' mental health, and conspiracy theories. With security concerns rising and military mental health under scrutiny, the implications stretch far. Let's move on to the next story. So, the upcoming Belarusian presidential election on January 26th stands as a pivotal moment. With incumbent President Alexander Lukashenko eyeing a seventh term, this event underscores ongoing debates about electoral fairness. Lukashenko, in power since 1994, has faced criticism for alleged electoral fraud. The last election in 2020 sparked mass protests, met with severe crackdowns. Amid this backdrop, opposition leader Svetlana Tikhanovskaya criticizes the election as a sham, highlighting a repressive climate that stifles genuine competition. The Central Election Commission verified Lukashenko's candidacy after collecting 2.5 million signatures, fueling further skepticism. International observers raise concerns over human rights abuses, urging non-recognition if violations persist. On Polymarket, projections reflect the expectation that Lukashenko will likely win, with odds at a staggering 97%. Trading volume has hit over $1 million, reflecting significant engagement. Critics on X and in media circles echo Tikhanovskaya's views, crafting narratives of electoral theatrics rather than democratic process. The election's implications are vast. Should Lukashenko win, it could lead to greater international isolation or sanctions as calls for reform intensify. Meanwhile, the Belarusian democratic movement in exile faces challenges, but also an opportunity to galvanize support against repression. Let's move on to the next story. Polymarket has opened a discussion on Donald Trump's potential return to the presidency and the projected number of deportations he might execute. This scenario centers on January 5th, 2025, as part of discussions about Trump's proposed policies, notably involving mass deportations that could affect millions. The focus is on Trump's planned strategies, scrutinizing the humanitarian and economic consequences, especially following recent deals with Mexico to serve as a deportation hub. During Trump's initial term, controversial immigration measures like family separations and remain in Mexico were highlighted due to legality issues. Currently, Trump proposes even larger-scale deportations and expansion of detention centers, with figures speculated between 2 to 20 million. Economists express concern that such measures could lead to a decline in GDP because of a reduced labor supply if these policies are implemented. Recent headlines underscore Trump's campaign promises of widespread deportations if re-elected, which has prompted Polymarket participants to estimate potential removals. The odds suggest around 43% likelihood for 250,000 to 500,000 deportations, with a volume of around $21,000. Posts on X show mixed reactions. Supporters like Byron Donalds view these actions as necessary, while critics warn of impending humanitarian and economic challenges. The economic repercussions are significant, given that employment shifts could drive inflation higher due to a shrinking workforce. Furthermore, Mexico's role as a deportation hub indicates potential diplomatic challenges, but also essential teamwork in managing immigration. The intricacy of these issues lies in executing policy while considering humanitarian values. Polymarket showcases this uncertainty, with odds influenced by practical realities rather than exaggeration. Each of the stories we covered today is ongoing and may change dramatically. For updates and detailed odds, head to polymarket.com. That's all the news that's fit to predict. This is me, Packy McCormick's voice, signing off. May the odds be ever in your favor.